defense carries the day in Super Bowl 53 for the Patriots. My name is Mike Petraglia, joined inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium by Evan Lazar and Alex Barth. I got to tell you guys, I did not see the Patriots, as well as their defense has been playing toward the end of the year, holding the LA Rams to 3 points.
I mean, just an incredible effort by the defense, incredible coaching job, execution by the players. It all started with stopping the run. That was the number one thing they wanted to do. They wanted to put the weight of the world on Jared Goff's shoulders, with the whole world watching here at the Super Bowl, make the young quarterback, beat them, and that's exactly what they did. And after that, it was basically put a target on Jared Goff's back, get after the quarterback, harass him, make it difficult for him. And in the secondary, Devin McCourty basically told me that it was a completely different game plan from what we saw 2 weeks ago against the Kansas City Chiefs. Threw out the cover one press man looks that they gave the Chiefs, played a lot more zone here today, a lot more off coverage, really didn't blitz all that much, he said, and basically we're just looking to give Goff some different looks, and it was also some game plan specific stuff that led them to those zone coverages. Something
that Stephon Gilmore, Alex, told me after the game was defining what we are as a defense, our identity, if you will. And what was interesting about that is first 3 quarters, he said, we played a certain way, but then in the final quarter, especially in that drive where the Rams were driving to potentially tie the game at 10 apiece, and he picks off the pass as Deron Harmon blitzes. He picks off the pass at the 2-yard line, and disaster is averted. But it was interesting to hear certainly Stephon Gilmore describe how the Patriots were flexible in their defensive game plan.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the case for the Patriots these last couple Super Bowls, whether it be on offense or defense, changing the way they did things. I think the biggest thing that happened is they trusted themselves to take some risks in that fourth quarter. You saw a couple of times late in the third and in the fourth, Brandon Cooks get open down the field. It got a little unnerving. Will they hit one of these deep balls? Gilmore decides to try to undercut one, and if he times that jump, I mean, we saw Asante Samuel do that in one of these games a few years back, right? If he times that jump, it's a tie game. We might still be going right now. So I think the Patriots really trusted themselves late in that fourth quarter, something they didn't do last year against Philly, and it made all the difference.
Yeah, they said after the game that basically Brian Flores told them coming into the game that they weren't going to blitz a ton. They weren't going to run a lot of those zero blitzes, and he was going to wait till the very perfect time to run one. And he waited right for that play with Gilmore, and Gilmore simply said, I had the ball the whole way. I saw it coming the whole way. I knew that Goff was in a panic mode and was just putting it up there. He just read the quarterback's eyes with the eyes in the backfield, playing in that off technique, a little bit like zone where you're just peeking inside to the quarterback. And Devin McCourty just said it was funny because we got into the huddle, we got the call, and we just said, okay, this is it. This is what he was talking about all week long, that I was going to wait for the perfect time to call this play, and I called it at the perfect time. And Brian Flores, I mean, what you can say about him, just calling the plays here tonight. Belichick's obviously the mastermind, but Flores, the play calling and the routine that he went through in this game to kind of get to that blitz and get to that moment was just spectacular.
This Super Bowl 53 report brought to you by the great folks at BetOnline.ag. Go to CLNSmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50 for a 50% buy-in bonus. Again, CLNSmedia.com/win and use the promo code CLNS50. I'm glad you brought up Brian Flores because he goes out and on a winning note to the Miami Dolphins, and certainly the Dolphins have to like what they saw from the Brian Flores play calling here in Super Bowl 53.
It was exactly what Alex said. He stayed patient. He didn't, tip their hand early on those blitzes that they were going to run in the fourth quarter, and then he brought out the amoeba defense with the zero blitzes right when they needed it the most. And really, I think what was really impressive about Brian Flores is just his ability to teach the different techniques. You have a team here that was playing press cover one man against the Kansas City Chiefs across the board, against Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Sammy Watkins. Then tonight, they play zone, and those guys in the back end are still able to just play zone to the same level that they were able to play man against Kansas City. That's not easy. To be scheme versatile like that is just, it's incredible. It's a testament to the players' execution. Devin McCourty, Stephon Gilmore just saying it's all about fundamentals. It really doesn't change all that much if you stick to your fundamentals, whether you're in zone or man. It's just kind of the way that your responsibilities work out.
Guys, I have to ask you about a couple of players that we haven't even brought up. Dante Hightower, Kyle Van Noy, Danny Shelton, and Jason McCourty makes the best recovery
play
play
of the game.
Maybe in the 6 Super Bowl wins I think Jason McCourty made one of the great recovery plays defensively we've seen, knocking down that pass on the wide open Brandon Cooks in the back of the end zone.
And Belichick talked about that after the game. Obviously not happy that Chung got hurt, but that's Patrick Chung out there in that situation. He does not have that closing speed. Jason McCourty did. So for him to be in that spot to make that play, the Patriots, I don't want to say lucked out, obviously, because it's unfortunate what happened to Patrick Chung, but kind of in the right place at the right time. And then Donta Hightower, a guy who some people were saying back in training camp, I remember, was a borderline roster guy with his salary hit, comes in, and this guy just in big games going back to Alabama, big play after big play when they need it most, had a big sack early in the game, Shelton with the big run stuff. That's what this Patriots dynasty is built on. Each guy making the one play in the specific moment they were brought in to make it.
Just an unbelievable performance from Hightower. How many times in a Super Bowl is that guy going to show out? I mean, Seattle, Atlanta. Last year, if they have Donta Hightower, I think that maybe that's a little bit of a different game, too, in that one. Just an incredible performance, and really, they used him as a pass rusher in this game. It wasn't dropping a lot as a linebacker in underneath zones. He was mostly playing as a pass rusher, as a defensive end on the edge, rushing the passer, which is something that a lot of people talked about early on in the season. Okay, maybe he's lost a step in coverage. Let's let him rush and get after the quarterback. That's what he did here today. And just the synchronization and just the cohesion of the guys up front with Van Noy and Hightower leading the way on those games and stunts and the different things that they do with their defensive line, to be able to just have that chemistry to go out and do it, that makes them be able to rush the quarterback without a Von Miller or a Khalil Mack or an Aaron Donald, right? They don't have necessarily that star pass rusher, but as a group, they're just terrific together.
Last year, the Super Bowl storyline for the Patriots was the defense, the Malcolm Butler benching. This year, a much happier ending.
Yeah.
Also defense, the storyline, as Tom Brady acknowledged himself after the game. Without this defense, we don't win this Super Bowl. It was a tremendous defensive effort. The Patriots win it 13-3 inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium in Atlanta. Mike Petraglia alongside Evan Lazar and Alex Barth, CLNS Media.